Think you're working hard to build a better life? Think again. The system has spent decades rewiring your brain to keep you trapped in a cycle of endless work, endless spending, and endless stress. And the most disturbing part, you can't see the cage because it's built from your own thoughts. Here's what'll blow your mind. 87% of people report being disengaged at work, yet only 25% have any plans to leave their jobs. The average person spends 2.5 years of their life dreaming about winning the lottery instead of building real wealth. And here's the kicker. The psychological programming keeping you stuck isn't just limiting your income, it's destroying your life. These aren't just bad habits. These are systematic psychological traps designed to keep you running on someone else's hamster wheel forever. And today, I'm going to expose the 4 most dangerous ones that are keeping you from the life you actually want. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. This channel exposes the mental prisons that keep people broke and busy, and more importantly, how to break free from them. Trust me, what you're about to discover might be the most important thing you learn all year. Let's dive in. Trap number 1, the sunk cost fallacy. Your brain is sabotaging you with a 20-year-old decision you can't let go of. Here's what's happening. You've invested so much time, energy, and money into your current career that the thought of changing course feels like admitting failure. So you keep pushing forward, even when every fiber of your being is screaming that you're on the wrong path. This is the sunk cost fallacy in action, and it's the reason why 50-year-old lawyers are still practicing law even though they hate it. Why 30-year-old accountants stay in cubicles when they'd rather be traveling. Why talented people waste decades in careers that make them miserable. Here's the math that'll make you sick. If you're 30 years old and spend the next 35 years in a job that pays you $20,000 less than your true potential, you've just lost $700,000. But your brain won't let you see it because it's too focused on the 5 years you've already invested. The system knows this. They promote you just enough to make leaving feel impossible. They give you a fancy title, a slightly bigger office, maybe a parking spot. Not because you're valuable, but because it increases your psychological investment in staying. Here's what'll make you angry. Your brain is literally wired to make bad decisions about your career. The sunk cost fallacy is a cognitive bias that worked great for our ancestors who needed to stick with one tool or one hunting strategy. But in the modern world, it's the difference between building wealth and being stuck forever. Every day you stay in the wrong career, you're not just losing money, you're losing time. And time is the one resource you can never get back. Trap number 2, the comfort zone addiction. Your brain is wired to choose misery over uncertainty. This is the most insidious trap because it doesn't feel like a trap at all. It feels like safety, like wisdom, like being responsible. But here's what's really happening. Your brain is choosing known misery over unknown possibilities. Here's the messed up part. Your brain would rather keep you in a job that makes you miserable than risk the uncertainty of finding something better. It's not that you don't want to change. It's that your brain is literally designed to resist change, even when change would make you happier and wealthier. The system exploits this by creating just enough comfort to keep you from leaving. They give you health insurance, paid vacation, a retirement plan. Not because they care about your well-being, but because they know it makes you less likely to risk starting over. Here's what'll blow your mind. Researchers have found that most people would rather stick with a job that makes them miserable than risk being unemployed for 6 months while building something better. We're literally choosing guaranteed misery over uncertain freedom. But here's the really sick part. Your comfort zone shrinks the longer you stay in it. The longer you stay in that safe, predictable, soul-crushing job, the harder it becomes to imagine doing anything else. You're not just wasting your time, you're losing your ability to believe in yourself. The comfort zone isn't comfort at all. It's a prison where the guards are your own fears and the bars are made of false security. Trap number 3, the status game. You're playing a game where winning means losing. Here's what nobody talks about. Most of your career decisions aren't about building wealth or finding fulfillment. They're about maintaining your social status. And the status game is rigged to keep you broke and miserable. Think about it. You took that job at the prestigious company for $60,000 instead of the startup that offered you $50,000 plus equity. You wanted to be able to tell people where you worked. You wanted your family to be proud. You wanted to feel important. But here's the math that'll make you sick. The person who took the lower paying job with equity and learned valuable skills is now making $150,000 while you're still making $75,000 after 5 years of prestigious work. You chose status over wealth, and now you're behind in both. The system knows this. They give you a fancy title instead of a raise. They put you in a nice office instead of giving you ownership. They make you feel important while keeping you powerless. Here's what'll make you angry. The status game is designed to make you prioritize how your work looks over how it pays. You're more worried about your LinkedIn profile than your bank account. You'd rather impress strangers than build wealth. But here's the really messed up part. The people who actually have high status, the ones who own businesses, who have real wealth, who have freedom, they didn't get there by playing the status game. They got there by ignoring status and focusing on results. The status game is a distraction that keeps you focused on perception while the real players are building empires. Trap number 4, the instant gratification trap. Your brain is stealing your future to pay for today's temporary pleasure. This is the most dangerous trap because it doesn't just keep you in the rat race, it makes you choose to stay there. Every time you choose immediate pleasure over long-term wealth, you're voting for a life of financial servitude. Here's how it works. You get paid on Friday, and by Monday, you've already spent most of it. New clothes, expensive dinner, weekend getaway. It feels good in the moment, but here's what you're really doing. You're trading your future freedom for temporary pleasure. The system is designed to encourage this. They give you credit cards to spend money you don't have. They advertise lifestyle inflation as success. They make saving seem boring and spending seem exciting. Here's the math that'll keep you up at night. If you spend just $100 extra per month on stuff you don't need, that's $1,200 per year. Invested at 7% return, that's $1.2 million by the time you're 65. You're literally trading millions of dollars in future wealth for temporary pleasure today. But here's the really sick part. Your brain is wired to prioritize immediate rewards over future benefits. It's called present bias, and it's the reason why 64% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency expense. We're biologically programmed to make bad financial decisions. The instant gratification trap doesn't just keep you broke, it keeps you focused on the wrong things. Instead of building assets that generate income, you're buying liabilities that drain your wallet. Instead of investing in your future, you're borrowing from it. The hard truth about breaking free. Here's what nobody wants to tell you. These traps aren't just limiting your income, they're destroying your life. You're not just missing out on money, you're missing out on freedom, fulfillment, and the chance to build something meaningful. The sunk cost fallacy keeps you stuck in the wrong career. The comfort zone addiction keeps you from taking risks. The status game keeps you focused on perception instead of results. The instant gratification trap keeps you broke and dependent. But here's the thing, knowing about these traps is just the first step. The real challenge is reprogramming your brain to work for you instead of against you. And that requires something most people aren't willing to do. It requires you to think differently about risk, comfort, status, and money. The people who escape the rat race aren't smarter than you. They're not more talented than you. They're not luckier than you. They're just willing to override their psychological programming and make decisions based on logic instead of emotion. The question isn't whether you can escape these traps, it's whether you're willing to face the discomfort of breaking free. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The only way out of the rat race is to stop thinking like a rat. If you're ready to stop being a victim of your own psychology and start building real wealth, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. And let me know in the comments, which of these traps has been keeping you stuck the longest? Because recognizing the problem is the first step to solving it. Your future self is counting on you to break free. Don't let them down. Thanks for watching. And remember, your biggest enemy isn't the system, it's your own brain. But once you understand how it works, you can make it work for you instead of against you.